Everyone hold hands! Hey! I see everything! Everyone hold hands! I'll protect us!
There is no escape!
I see everything! Everyone hold hands! To Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same did. But even so, people call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby. Wait a second. Look! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like, hey there! We're not from around here and seem to have gotten a little lost. We'd like to ask for... Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions. Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us. Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly vanished. Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but, it looks like that's not the case. Look, she's sitting over there. Wait, what should we do now? Do we try ask? All right, then. It's not like we have anyone else we can ask. Even if she's not very friendly, we just... Oh. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? What's happening? Traveler? This is no time for a nap.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that she's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we?
This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operation. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no thanks are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you... Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be... Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board. But if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure... So, how are you doing?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training and meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as Spirit Borneol. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was That incense typically has no effect on most people. But for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition. Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Wait, hold on a second.
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further observation.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out. So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell, okay? Good. Now continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru. Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out, but it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should? Good idea! Kale's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and custom... Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
All right, next let's see your right hand. But please remember that you still need to be careful.
Yes, I will. By the way...
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time.
But I have a vision too!
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worried. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand or...
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of... And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Roger, I'll be right there. All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details...
Yes, you can count on...
So, Kale, Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really...
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing... As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the road. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, Traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual. Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good. Hey! The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't... Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much footing once you reach the...
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way...
that depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former...
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sarastana.
Uh-huh. Then what?
Well, and then...
Huh? You're not too sure?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru.
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case...
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Anyway, you two...
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say there's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described.
Sorry. I was rambling.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber, so...
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day... Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust. Really, I wish I could tell you more about the Dendroarchon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendroarchon? So that's...
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to...
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the fort.
At it. The deity that's... Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? The name does seem to fit this... Well, anyway, we'll have to... Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take care... Nice work! That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Kale.
Be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little...
Yay! Food! What kind of... Hey! Don't be a party pooper! It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to...
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like... whoops!
No!
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon, those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been...
You really know how to compliment the chef since you liked it so much. I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers.
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have
Oh!
Kale, don't you think that Tainari... Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but she's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy...
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's... I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called... Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many, but Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. Seems you already know him well. Anyway, I'm sure that Master could obviously have a bright future in the Academia, but he insists on sticking to the path of a forest watcher. Every day he helps the locals of the forest. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never... Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way he...
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why? Is she going to die? It probably...
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was... Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh! Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this! It's time for some...
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Kale.
No, I just...
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm fine. Oh, well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharvaville.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look.
Traveler, you've returned.
Yep, we're back.
Oh, Kale? Yes,
Oh, okay. Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on her.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look.
Huh? Tainari, what are you doing here?
I came to check on Kale's condition.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time.
So, Tainari, what's real?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also, just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because and honestly speaking, but she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something...
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued, and even in its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting out...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up... With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The
Ah, it appears you're already familiar with them. That'll save me. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her. Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such a
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led to her breakdown this time. As long as she has taken her... Though, I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too... All right. Now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help...
All right, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problem!
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as Nilotpala lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilotpala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Nilote lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that there should be Nilote lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, we'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the
Everyone hold hands. I see everything.
Let me take a look. Good. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on some other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling.
Ah yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they? Let's go find out what's going on.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharva.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already clear just a week ago. It reappeared. Can you tell me the exact
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area. So we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. So we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called... The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it. Like, only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, she may not have a vision, but she's a real pro at using the power of the element. Don't sweat it. We've helped others deal with similar situations before.
Wait, you've met other forest rangers before? I was planning to properly show you both how to identify the withering before you left Gandharvaville. Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers, come with me. I'm sure you'll both be able to help.
Hey, look! That gloomy area over there looks like a withering, even though Paimon's seen one before.
All right, traveler. We're about to enter the withering zone. Since you already have experience dealing with these things, you should already know what to do. But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Let's dance.
Shine down! Illusion shattered!
As per our contract.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
The Temple of Wisdom! This way, Trailer.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. No, there is no escape.
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering!
We did it! Everything's returned.
Yes, thanks to you two.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but
It's that obvious, huh? Now, recently the rate at which the withering zone appears has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly... If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife, and most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase.
huh? Oh,
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are... No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the... By the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense. You can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the Withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevata's familiars a long time ago. But even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Wish me luck!
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did...
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. Huh. Wait, is that... Oh no, Hypatia!
huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? All Paimon sees are three
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines up
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines. And by the time... Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that she'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that she could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that she would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Tevat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneol are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her and she'll answer any questions you may have. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait, why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around. Huh? How'd things out here? What happened? And where are... Really? Oh. This is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Witness the power.
Ready, steady, go! Sharing my knowledge.
Let me read you.
What in Tibet is going on here? place is getting weirder by the minute! Hey! What's the matter? You don't look so good! Grow! This may hurt a little.
No, my sword! Witness the power of Gugwa!
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
I'll protect us! Make yourselves a move! Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before!
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your brother. Oh, His Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in his eyes, the bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last.
What do we do? We haven't seen her. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see her. Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa! Wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked.
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this—
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips.
Oh. I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my,
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before, and you needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves—
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature—
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort— I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Ermin's. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Irminsul later. All right, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tainari came.